Hey guys, it's Dino, and this is the second game of our series of really instructive games that will help you to improve your chess game. And without further ado, black won, so you're gonna be concentrating and thinking about trying to guess what's the next move for black player since he won. E4. Pause the video. What would you play? E4 is one of the best moves on the board because as we have seen in the previous game, it occupies the center, controls some central squares, which is really important. Watch my previous video to understand why. Or I can tell you right now also, because the pieces in the center are the strongest. When the knight, for example, is in the center, it is the strongest. Then maybe the knight here. Then e5. e5 also does what e4 does for white. e5 does for black, opens up pieces. So I'm not gonna repeat a lot of things that I said in a game one, so please watch game one if you want to understand. I'm gonna just briefly mention some things. Knight to f3 develops a piece and attacks the e5 pawn. What would you do? Pause the video. Knight c6. Did you guessed it correctly? If not, it's not important. The important thing is to know why this is a good move, and then next time you're gonna play this move. So this move develops the piece and defends the pawn. Bishop c4 develops the piece in the center. Keep an eye on this pawn. Pause the move, guess the next. Pause the video, guess the next move. Bishop c5, just like in the previous game, develops a piece in the center. C3. C3 has the intention to go d4 and occupy the center with these pawns. What do you think the black did here? In the last game, game one, black played this move, but another move is possible too. Pause the video. It is bishop b6. Bishop b6 was played in the previous game too, but this is just the other, I guess, the other, how you say it, the arrangement, I guess. You can play this and this then, or this right away. The meaning of this move is just to, when white plays d4, you know, you're gonna move either way. You're gonna move this bishop here because you don't want to trade. Because if you trade, then white is going to have two pawns in the center, and he's going to have an advantage. So you don't want to do that. After bishop b6, white plays d4, and now remember, we don't take. It's not really good because we're going to give up a central control. What do you think the move is? Pause the video. This queen e7, really similar like in the previous game. So we are protecting this pawn. That's the purpose, pretty much. Protecting this pawn, developing our queen, and that's pretty much it. We could play. We have could have played d6 too, but this is also a good move. Castle. And now pause the video. The move is knight f6. Really similar like in the previous game, just developing a piece and attacking this pawn. And now, mistake from our opponent, d5. It seems like a good move, but it opens up our bishop, closes down his bishop, and also moves the pawn, and breaks the rule that you should not move the pawns in the opening. You should develop your pieces, because these pieces are crying to be developed. What do you think the next move is, where this knight should go? Pause the video. It is knight back to b8. It seems like we are being squeezed by our opponent, but actually he is just making mistakes, making more weaknesses in his position. Like this pawn is kind of weak because it's not protected, and we are gonna go with this knight here, and then maybe here we can develop it like that. It's not a problem for us. And you should go here, for example, because after this move, this knight can easily be trapped. After this move, just try to visualize what would happen. You go here, and if you go here, our knight, cannot go here or here. So the best move is obviously knight to b8. The next move is bishop d3. Also not a good move, because you move your it breaks the rule, don't move the same piece twice in the opening, because you should move other pieces. For example, he could instead develop knight to protect this pawn, or maybe even develop a queen. It was much better than moving the same piece twice to protect this pawn that is attacked. What is the next move? Pause the video. d6. Obviously opening up this bishop. And h3. h3 was played in the previous game too, and I said that it is not good, because the rule is to not to keep this pawn on their original squares, to protect the king. Move them only if necessary, or maybe to get an advantage. There is few exceptions. We are gonna see them in future games, but in this case there wasn't a need to play this move. You are just weakening your queen. And now think a little bit longer, because this is a critical position. Try to find a plan to exploit this bad move by white. Pause the video, and the move is h6. h6 seems like a bad move also, because I just said don't play h3 and I played h6. Why this is not a bad move? Because first of all, our king is not castled. So maybe we're gonna castle this way, and then these pawns are on their original squares, and it is all good. And also this move has intention to attack. Intention for this move is to play g5 and g4 and attack this weakness. See, that's why it was played. Let's see how white responded. White played queen to e2, and then pause the video. Black played, of course, g5, proceeding with his plan. White tried knight to h2, trying to block this pawn. And then, what do you think Black played? Pause the video. Black played g4. Even when we don't see how we're gonna get this pawn back, it's good to sacrifice a pawn just to open up a king. Because if we open up a king, we're gonna have really good attack, and then this one pawn that we lost doesn't really matter in the long run. If we checkmate our opponent in exchange of one pawn, it is a really good exchange. So we play this. White takes, and now pause the video. What do you think Black played? Rook to g8. We are putting our rook on this really good line, and we are attacking this pawn. White cannot protect it like this. There's no way to protect this pawn. This pawn is gonna fall, and then this line is gonna be open for our rook to attack the king. You see how this is beautifully executed when we just try to exploit this weakness. When we see just one weakness, this pawn, and then just go and use all our pieces to finish up our opponent. White plays bishop takes h6, which is a bad move too, because old masters said that you shouldn't grab your pawns before you are developed, because you're gonna be attacked if you're not developed, maybe, and your opponent is better developed. You're gonna suffer, and you should develop and not grab pawns. That's a really bad mistake. Better move would be maybe to try to oppose this black bishop, because it is really strong, and trying to neutralize this one piece would be much better. Instead, he made one more critical mistake. What's the next move? Pause the video. It is knight takes. The reason why is because if white takes here, we're gonna play this, and this is gonna be really dangerous. For example, if he plays queen c2, we play this move, and it's really hard to defend. Or actually, we play this move, and then if he plays this, we go here and threaten checkmate. And this move also attacks this bishop. White tries to defend, play the move that he should have played a move before, and now it's not that easy to see the idea, but try to guess, maybe think a little bit more. Pause the video. Knight to h2. White is forced. And what's the next move? Pause the video. Queen to h4. White is forced to play king g1, and now pause the video. Queen h3 is finishing up the game. Also good was this move, but this move is far better. The reason why, if for example White tries to defend like this, we just play rook to h8, threatening mate, and if White's play maybe f3, we take here, and then it is game over. If White tries to defend like this, again we take here and checkmate our opponent. So this was really nice game, showing how again this weakness is deadly, and how we can attack, we can avoid castling and try to attack with this pawn. Let's go again. This is all known to you. Going back with our bishop. We don't want to exchange this, so this bishop belongs back, keeping our bishop at this long diagonal. Keeping up the pressure, not taking a pawn, defending this pawn, and developing our queen. Developing another piece with an attack on this pawn. Getting back. First mistake, playing with the same piece twice. Opening up the bishop. First mistake, weakening the king. Going for an attack with the pawns. Sacrificing the pawn for opening up the position. Mistake, grabbing the pawn instead of developing. Attacking two pieces at the same time. If he takes, we saw that it is bad. He comes back, and the winning combination. And if he goes here, we saw in this position, you saw every combination. So this is the second game. I hope I presented it a little bit better than the first game. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.